Want to talk about the contest, Carrie?
Yeah, sorry, I had to find my unmute button.
I saw you.
We are still running our command database contest. If anybody has any questions about it, like in detail how to tag your contacts, how to put them on smart plans, just let me know. But the goal is to have 100 contacts in your command database that have all been called, they've all been tagged, and they've all been set up on some form of smart plan or neighborhood search. So that goes through the end of this month. So the 30th, I couldn't remember how many days were in September. So you have until like three more weeks to get your contacts in there.
So who has 100 contacts in there or more? But 100's the minimum. And you're in there. Who has that? Woo! Look at you, Jeremy, brand new guy down there. Let me see. I can't see the rest of you. I can only see a few of you in here. Raise your hands.
Wait, I don't have all the information in there yet, but I do have 100 contacts in there. I still have to
That's okay. Yes, I asked for 100 contacts. Is Jeremy the only person that has 100 contacts in there?
Looks like Kathan, Jason, and TG, and Tyler.
Oh, there's TG, Tyler. Okay. Is there anyone on here that does not know how to get into command and put your contacts in there? Trying to go back. So we don't need to cover that. That's not your excuse.
Scott and I actually went over that this morning at the office.
Wow.
And as soon as he gets all of his Scott Leroy stuff set up, we're going to set through it. But that's some of his homework is to get that set up this week.
Thank you, Coach Jason. I love that. Jason, in case y'all don't know, is one of the leadership, him and Craig, on my team, and they are very helpful in all these things with our new agents. So I appreciate you pushing that. So contacts tagged. Has anyone tagged in one of them, and does anyone have them on a smart plan? Jason, all right. Have you got all yours tagged, 100 of them? I bet he does. Whoop, look at that. All right, and then have you got anything on a smart plan?
I have some.
That's okay. That's okay. I just want to know, do you have any? Because we've got until the end of the month to do this.
I think I've got like 30, 35 or 40 that are on a smart plan.
All right, good deal. All right, so if you don't have that done and you don't want to win the $1,000 that were given away, I didn't even get a look out of some of y'all. You don't even know what you're winning, do you? But I thought at least if I said $1,000, somebody would look excited about it or something. Courtney's smiling at me again.
I want to win. I don't care what I win.
Yeah, I was going to say, it really doesn't matter what you win, because you know what you win, it'll just be little prizes and stuff. It's just the fun of this. What I'm thinking about doing with this one is just having a bunch of little drawings for people that have done it, so everybody can win something if you do it, just like Cold Stone and Andy's and Starbucks and a bunch of little things like that, so we can have more winners because we're past mega camp, and I like all those little things that are in there like that. So that's probably what we'll do with this one. But you won't win any of that. And I tell you what, Andy's right now has got their key lime pie. I don't know if y'all like that or not, but it's worth winning. Get those contacts in there. You're going to like it. It's like my pastor said, give me ice cream and it makes me happy. He hands out Cold Stone, I think is the one he hands out to anybody that sits on the front row at church on Sunday. He hands out. So his front row is filling up pretty fast. So I'm trying to figure out what to do because I don't have a front row here. All right, let's move on with this. So here you go, Carrie. I've got to pull y'all down some so I can minimize it.
We went over kind of what everybody has done this weekend. I know Jenny has had a busy weekend and Rachel, and I just saw that Kathan put in the chat that he has one more under contract that he got this morning.
He was working on 4 this weekend. Kate, what happened?
Yeah, I've got 2 more that the offer expires this afternoon, so I might give you some good news during the call while we're on the call. But
that's awesome. So did you write 4 contracts, correct?
Yeah, I had 4 offers that I put in. 3 offers this weekend, and one was an auction website last week. So I'm waiting on all those 4, but I got 1 response from that, got accepted. The other 3 I haven't heard yet. So
are they the same investor, someone that's doing that?
4 different clients.
Wow, look at you. That is stinking awesome. Congratulations. I don't know. He didn't even say anything about all that luck when we were talking about the weekend and all the things he had done. I got a text from him this weekend, and he was telling me he had all 4 of those. He went, pray for me. So wouldn't that be wonderful to get all 4 of those accepted, Caton?
Yes.
That's what I thought. Okay.
That'll be a lot of Cold Stone and key lime.
You can win a lot of Cold Stone. Yes. All right. So our KW Bucks, it looks like Babette is leading the way. Jenny, you got behind. Did you not? Caton, you're coming on up there. Babette, you are hitting that thing and at least putting them in there. I bet the rest of you are doing it and you're just not marking it. It's what you're doing. Is that what's happening? That's what I'm believing. Here's your weekly numbers. Carrie, I'll let you talk to this one.
Okay. I told Marcella that I thought everybody took last week off when I pulled up all the numbers. David Crosby, I did get your text message earlier today that said that he's had a busy weekend and he put them in today. I didn't have a chance to go back in and add it to this chart though, but it was noted. I do know that David put his numbers in as well.
We'll get that.
Mine are in.
Okay. Jason's are in.
Yeah, I was out of town without a computer. Oops.
I knew that you were out of town, and I know that Craig's will be in today too. I've gone a long time without calling him out, so it was due for him. Wasn't that right, Craig? Yeah.
So where is Asa on here? Am I just missing him?
He's dressed up in the office.
I know, but he always does his numbers, but he's not on here. How come you didn't say anything, Asa?
He's muted. And he's getting up to unmute.
Is he talking to us?
No, I think
Courtney's laughing. He's not. I'm going to go over there where I can see him. I can only see him.
I how to work the computer. He took it off mute. Yeah. Yeah, I just haven't put him in.
Okay. We're going to change that, aren't we, Asa?
Bet.
Look at, I didn't even miss you until right now. Oh, what the heck? Where is Asa? Courtney was dying laughing. Your little, look at you, Courtney. You didn't put yours in either.
I know. I'm
giving y'all a pass. This was Labor Day. You're only supposed to work on Labor Day, though.
And the one that I missed last weekend, I had done it right before meeting. I just did it the wrong time. So I'm getting him in there, just a little delayed.
Okay.
If it's delayed, guys, just let me know. Today I was just crazy busy with one call after another, so I wasn't able to go in and change David's. But if you get them put in late, if you let me know, if I've got time before the call, I'll go in and
but
change
we'll
it.
At least let everybody know you did it if we don't have time to get it changed before. So thank you for doing that, because why do we do that? Why do we look at the numbers, and why do I call you out, and why do I say, do you have your numbers in there?
Accountability.
Exactly. Accountability and conversion, so that you understand how many calls does it take to get a contact, how many contacts does it take to get a lead, how many leads does it take to get an appointment, how many appointments to write a contract, and how many contracts does it take to have a closing. That's what we want to know, because it's all about the closing. And it starts, that lead generating is what fuels your business, guys. It fuels your business. And so you may feel like it sucks and it's not what you want to do, but it's really an important part of being a real estate agent. So, all right, Asa, you're on this one.
So on this one, this is another reason it's so important to get your weekly numbers in, because I don't just look to see if you did them. I actually look at them to see what you've been doing. So I think it's like one of the last lines on that number tracker, it has closings. And so I'm able to see how many closings you've had only if you put in your numbers. So if your numbers are not right on this, it's because I haven't seen them on the weekly number tracker. And so if you don't know, if you think you're filling it out right, but your numbers are wrong on here, just get with me and we can kind of walk through what I look at, so you know where I'm looking to get these numbers from.
And Carrie, just to be sure, Caitlin here, the numbers here, the closing goal is for the second quarter, not from the beginning of the year or your anniversary year, correct? Just for this quarter.
Yeah, so these goals that you see, like your closing goal, this is from what you set with that calculator.
For the 12 weeks.
Yeah.
It changed. It's the end of the September is the end. That's when you've got to have this.
So you'll set your next one. You'll use that calculator to set your October, November, and December, your fourth 12 weeks. You'll set that here pretty soon. And so in October, this won't show your 7 closing goal. It'll show whatever your goal is for those fourth 12 weeks.
Okay, so if we look at this closing actuals, Kaiten and Jason are actually leading in the closings. Courtney, Jeni, Craig, and Asa are in there in the running because they may have some other things coming in. Courtney just said that. And then listing goals, look at all the listings we've had taken. Kaiten, Aaron, Babette, Jeni, Craig. Jeni, I just heard you say, so yours is going to go up when you put those things in there, because you said I know of 2. You said the duplex you took and then this other one that you just took.
Yeah, and neither one of those are on there, I don't think. So she'll exceed her listing goal for the quarter.
Good for you. Good for you. And then Jason. So basically what's happening is I'm hearing a lot of you are increasing your business. You may not be hitting your goals this time, but I want to tell you the positive thing. So when you set these goals for the next quarter, those closings are going to happen. So you know you've already got something in there to put in there. So if you stop prospecting, if you stop building your business, you're 90 days out. Every time you start, when I go business in 7 days, production in 7 days, but in all reality, it's like 90 days. When you stop following up, when you stop lead generating, you've got to build that back and get those leads and those conversions. And I think it's probably a little less than 90 days right now just because of the market that we're in. But okay. We put listing the perfect home. This month, what are we working on? What did I say? This month is all about what?
All about listings and sellers.
It's all about sellers, correctly. So focus on listings this month. Even if you're a buyer's agent, we're going to talk about the listings, and you keep your eyes open. Everything you're at and you're a buyer's agent, then somebody needs that listing. If you pull a listing in, you ought to get a referral on it. If you're not on a team, say, if you just want to be a buyer's agent and you're not on our team, I guarantee you call and tell us that you've got a listing and we'll pay you a referral. Is that correct, everybody? Yes. Mm-hmm. I'm not hearing too many. Would everybody in here pay a 25% referral if somebody just brought them a listing that only wanted to work buyers?
Yes.
Yes, that's what I thought. Thank you. Good. Me too. All right, these are the 4 sections of a listing presentation. And so what I said this morning on coaching and foundation, and we talked about listing presentation this morning, is what I said was these 4 sections. If you redo your listing presentation and you're using something that you want to use that's more personal to you, if you're not on a team, now if you're on a team, you use the team listing presentation. If you're a single person, then you've got an option. You can use this one. You can use one that you've made. You can go into command and pull listing presentations. But any presentation that you have, the first part of it needs to be connecting with the seller or connecting with the buyer. This time we're talking about sellers. So it's connecting with them, getting to know them so that they can know you, like you, and trust you. They want to do business with you. The second thing that we talk about is price. And the price starts today on slide 16 in your stuff. And I'm not going to go through all that first because I want us to have enough time for Jeni to do the listing presentation. And then we'll look through those slides and see if you have questions. I'm not going to recreate. We talked about the listing presentation and foundation. And so If you are having questions about that, I encourage you please to come back to week 2, and it's about sellers. And not only in week 2, the ones of you that haven't been to Foundation, not only are we talking about your listing presentation, but we start with setting up your grids. We start with how to comp, where to find the information in AR County data, or whatever you're working with those resources, what to look at when you do go in there, what's important as far as getting back to your sellers. And so if you are having problems and you'd like to know more about that, then let us know and show up at that Foundation. It's the second one, and it's every month, the second week in the month we do working with sellers. And then marketing comes next. So you're going to connect with them first so they can know you, like you, and trust you, see a face, whatever they need to do. Then you're going to do all the pricing things, because the reason that's second, and that did not used to be second in my listing presentations. I've been doing this for 35 years, and trust me, things change, and it may change again, and we'll tell you why. But the reason is, if you cannot get that seller to listen and to price it correctly, it doesn't matter what you do for marketing. If it's not going to sell, it's not going to sell. You're going to keep it on there, it'll expire, and they'll go to the next person, and then they may reduce it just because it's been on the market for that long. So price is probably, besides connecting with them, the most important thing that you're going to talk to them about. Just the facts, and then marketing, and then your value. That's, if you can't get pricing right and they don't agree with your marketing, it doesn't matter what your value is in that. So today we have Jeni Sawyer, and she is with the Hagen Group. And thank you so much for volunteering to do your listing presentation today. And guys, next week is going to be Babette, and after that is going to be Caton. And so I think this is really good practice for you guys. It's good for the ones that are doing it, but it's also really good. And before I open this up, I'm going to open this up with you guys, and then I'm going to give her the screen. It's also good for us to listen. And I would say, if you've got a notepad there, then turn it to a blank piece of paper, take some notes on things that she says. If you've got a question that you want to ask those questions. Now, this is a safe place, so it's all constructive criticism. Everybody does things differently, and I can tell you, I've listened to Jeni do her listing presentation before, and she's smooth, she's great. We listened to Courtney last week. Awesome job on going through that listing presentation. So if you have questions for how they do it or how is it working with them, write those questions down so we have a question and answer time. And so Jeni, I'm not going to go through the pricing part of it today. I'm just going to turn it over to you. Are you ready?
Yeah, excuse me, Marcella, real quick. I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure that I'm the 29th, and
you're
Caton,
the end.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Did I get that wrong? Are you next?
Where'd he go?
I can go next. Are you talking to me, Marcella?
Yeah, next week. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, I can go next for sure.
Okay. I really don't care where y'all go. Yeah, because both of y'all have probably got your listing presentation, something you're doing to take listings and things like that. And if you don't, I would be working on it this week.
I got a question.
Okay, who is that? Okay, TG.
Of course, it's me.
Yeah.
Isn't next week Mega Camp?
That is right. We are skipping a week. I had that on the schedule.
Well, that's the reason why I think Babette is on the 29th, because then that would be the week following, would it not?
Let me look at my calendar here.
I think that's right.
He is right.
PG is right. And I was scheduled on the 22nd, if I remember it right. But I can go next week, but I'm sure everybody.
No, we're going to do.
We're not having next week.
Mega Camp. And so I want y'all to be able to focus on that. There is no coaching next week. I remember that now. I'm sorry. I didn't pull that schedule up, and I should have brought that over from last week, and I did not do that. So we have got.
Just wanted to make sure.
Yes. Next week on Tuesday, I will not see y'all, but it is my birthday. Whoop, whoop. So a birthday always means we made it. One more year, we're happy, and this is real life. Somebody told me it's not dress rehearsal, so always have fun. Is that right? Okay, so next Tuesday is the 15th. So the 22nd is Caton, and then the 29th is Babette. Does that sound right? Okay, no coaching next week. Thank you very much for reminding us of that. Okay, now I'm going to turn the screen over, make co-host to Jenny. And Jenny, do you have a person that is going to act as your seller, or do you want someone to answer you?
Someone can just
fill in there.
Volunteer.
Somebody want to volunteer to stay in there and not be muted? Craig, you're a great seller. Where are you? Did he leave?
No,
He's down.
he's here.
Okay, can you do it for us, Craig?
Yep, absolutely.
That's what I thought. All right.
So Craig is my seller, correct?
Craig is, yes.
Awesome. So my listing presentation is going to be pretty similar to Courtney's last week. Since we are in the same team, the Hayden Group. I actually did this exact listing presentation last week with my Garfield listing. So I'm just going to go through this one. All right. So Craig, thanks for giving me the time of day to come over and show you what's going on with the market and see how it benefits you to sell it. I've created this little nice presentation for you. We're going to go through a lot of information. So at any time, if you have any questions, go ahead and just stop me and ask. Okay?
Okay, sounds good.
All right, so you can tell my name's Jennifer. I'm with the Hagen Group with Keller Williams Market Pro Realty. Over here on your right-hand side, you're going to see a picture of your home. It's not the exact picture of your home, but it's the only picture I actually could find since you did purchase a Roche Coleman home. My main objective is to kind of just help you sell your home in the least amount of time, make you the most amount of money with the least amount of stress. You know, we're going to discuss like 3 important topics: the motivation to sell your home, the price we're going to set your home on, and marketing your home.
Okay. Yep. Are we going to list my home today? Is that what we're doing? Paperwork for that, or?
You know, there's a lot of steps that we need to kind of go through before we list your home.
Okay.
And when we get to that point, you'll understand where I'm coming from.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. So let's talk about a few things. Do you have any idea where you kind of want to move at?
I'm moving to Conway.
Conway?
Yeah.
Conway is still in Arkansas, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just want to make sure. Now, do you have anybody to help you search for homes down there?
No, I'm getting ready to start. Well, we talked about it a little bit, but I need to be down there January 1st.
All right, right. Well, you know, I can always refer you to a great realtor down in Conway to help with that process and make it a smoother transaction for you.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, so I'll definitely get that done for you.
Okay.
So you kind of told me you need to be there by January, correct?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna put this down in my notes. So have you considered how much you want to profit from selling your home?
No, I don't know exactly. I think I have about $100,000 in equity.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna put that down here. We'll talk more about what we're really realistically looking at that you may net from this, okay?
Okay, do you have like an estimator sheet or something?
I do. I actually do.
Okay.
And I'll be glad to pull that up once we look more in detail with what's going on with the market.
Okay, great.
An important question when we do go into the net sheet and kind of really look at the numbers, do you have any clue what your principal balance is on your mortgage?
It's yeah, it's 100,000.
100,000. Okay. An important question, if you haven't asked your bank yet, is to kind of you want to give them a call, make sure that you're not going to get charged any penalty fees for paying off your mortgage sooner than what it was meant to be paid off.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll write this down on a note. So I'm going to give you like a list of notes of things that you need to get done, so that way we have a better understanding of where we're heading towards.
Okay.
Now, with everything that's going on in our world lately, we have a lot of different expectations. After we go through every detail, you know, you're going to decide that you're going to want to sell your property. You may want to sell with me, you may not. You may decide that it may not be the right time and it's not going to be convenient for you and your family. Either way, this entire process is just to make sure that we know where you're at and where you need to head to. Sound good?
That sounds good.
Awesome. Like I was saying earlier, with COVID-19, our main priority is to make sure everybody is safe. And our group has a lot of great ways to make sure this happens. We can sign all paperwork electronically, so you don't handle anything by hand. We can do things virtually, we can do things in showings, and if we do in-person showings, we can have some rules that we can set out for other realtors to see to inform their buyers, like let's wear some gloves, let's put a mask on, even some booties if that's what you want to do. Either way though, with anything that you may have a concern of, we have a different option for you to keep you safe and your family safe.
So are you saying I need to give out masks? Are you saying I need to give out masks?
No, I can provide that. So you don't have to worry about providing that material.
Oh, okay.
All right. So I want to just kind of hit a few notes here. How the market right now is different from the market when we had the crash. Do you remember the crash that we had in 2007, 2008?
No, I wasn't here.
Okay, well, we had a pretty big market crash here in our area. And I just kind of want to show a difference just to kind of give you ease in knowing where we're at. So the 6 years here, if you look down the left-hand side, these red bars, those 6 years coming to that market crash, homes were appreciated a lot higher than what they needed to be. I mean, we're looking at the two digits, 2.5%, 11.4% in 04 and 05. Now, if we compare it to the last 6 years coming up to this year, we're at a more reasonable appreciation rate, looking at the 4.8 to 4.7%. This appreciation is very important. With that, I want to show here the mortgage credit availability index. If you look down at this graph right here in 07, we shoot up here, the housing bubble credit index was about 868.7. That is incredibly high. And now we're keeping it down at a lower rate, which is 152.1. These numbers show how much equity people can cash out from their homes. So back then, in total, society was taking about $824 billion in equity in their home, which was more than what the house appreciation really was. Now, if we take a look now, the total amount that society is taking out is about $232 billion in equity cashed out, which is a great thing, because that means that homeowners in the year 2020, about 42.1% of them have 100% home ownership of their home. And 16.6% are pretty close to 100%. So that means that more than 50% of homeowners are getting or close to being an actual homeowner of their home. So they're not going to lose their home. We're not going to be looking at foreclosures. We're not going to be looking at that crash that we went through back in 07. And that means really great news for you. So this means that, we're getting buyers that are just ready to purchase your home. They're accepted for it. We don't have to worry about their loan falling out. The process should go smoothly. In today's market, it's actually a seller's market. Do you know what that means?
That means, well, that's when we talked on the phone, you were saying that we were in a seller's market and it was good for me since I'm ready to sell.
Yes, sir. It is good for you. So what this means is that in the last 6 months, the inventory of homes that we have for sale are quite low. So that puts you in a great position. We're going to have many buyers that are going to be interested in your home. And, it just puts you in an awesome position for the way the market is right now. I want to kind of hit some high points right now on some factors that influence the price of your home. The first thing is the market conditions, which is the last couple of screens that I showed you really kind of defines that. The interest rates are quite low. So as a buyer, since you're going to go find a home in Conway, we're looking at like 2.5% at this moment. I know a great loan officer, and I'll be happy to introduce you to her and, get that process started for you with that as well. So, there's a lot of buyers in the market at this moment. So that means people are going to definitely be coming and being interested into your house as long as we price it correctly. Another good factor that influences the price of your home is the motivation that you have as a seller. So, you're on a time crunch that we spoke about earlier. You want to, get where you need to be by January. So that puts you in a position where, you know, you're going to decide, are you going to take this offer or are you just going to want to wait it out? The next factor is going to be the terms that you offer as a seller. So as a seller, you get to decipher, you know, am I okay with these contracts and offers that are coming in? So we get to pick and choose from there. And that's something that I can help you in more detail when that time comes. Another thing is the property features of your home. So taking a look around in your home, it's looking really great. You kept up with it, great. It doesn't look like you have any holes in the wall. So the appreciation of your home is great where it needs to be. Another main factor is, and which I did create a few slides for, is comparable properties. So we're going to be looking at other homes that are similar to the structure, the size, and, you know, relevantly close to your house and what they have sold and what they're currently selling for and which ones are currently under contract. And last and least is exposure, which that's where I come into play, is, you know, how your house is going to be marketed. Because people, you know, they use the internet, they use a realtor to really, they really rely on that when it comes to finding the right house to buy. Do you have any questions about any of these factors that I just mentioned to you about?
So maybe later I have a question about those.
Okay, all right.
It's for later though.
All right. So here are some factors that have absolutely no impact on the current value of your home. The first thing is what you paid for it. The market changes, and so we're going to discuss about how much your house is worth now with the market it is, not about what you paid for it when you first bought it. Another thing would be the type of investments that you place into it. Sometimes we get emotionally attached with our homes, and we feel like every little detail that we put into it should raise the value of our home, but that's not necessarily true. There are some factors that will raise it and there are others that won't. And we can discuss more about that when we take a little tour around your home and kind of see if you want to show me the things that you have improved on it in the last couple of years.
So
Another
like
thing,
the new roof I had because of the hailstorm this year, that makes my home worth more.
yes, so having a new home is definitely a big plus. I mean, I'm sorry, having a new roof is definitely a big plus. So that does impact the value of your home.
Okay. And help sell it, right?
Yes,
Okay.
most definitely. The next thing that has no impact on the current value of your home would be how much you want to net from it. You know, you might have a number set on your mind about what you want to make from it, but we're going to be realistic, or I'm going to be realistic with you about what you're really looking at, okay? Another factor too is going to be what your friends and families and neighbors have to say. Everybody has a personal opinion, but as a professional, I hope you take whatever I say into recommendation and just see that I just want nothing but to get you the best deal for your home.
Okay.
So when we price your home, this pyramid right here that we're looking at is going to be incredibly important. If you take a look at the percentage on the left-hand side, that's going to be talking about the asking price percentage. Well, if you look at the percentage on the right-hand side, that will be looking at the potential buyers. I highly suggest we keep looking at the middle mark, which is the market value. So if we price it around market value, you're going to be looking at potential 60% of buyers looking at your home. If you start pricing it 10% to 50% above market value, the amount of potential buyers is going to decrease by 30 to 10%, as you can tell. Now, the same thing happens if you do the opposite thing, which is marking it 10% or 50% below market value. You're going to get a higher volume of buyers looking at your home. So I just want you to keep this. Does this make sense to you?
It does. So should we price it below?
Well, it depends on the technique you want to make. Pricing it below isn't necessarily a bad technique. Sometimes when you price it below, you may get a buyer that could potentially be able to purchase your home, but was just looking at a lower price for convenience factors. So it doesn't hurt.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
No problem. After we set the right price, the first 2 weeks are going to be the most important 2 weeks for your house. It's going to get the most exposure. Everybody's going to see that it's new, it's on the market. So everybody's just going to take a look at it. After the first 2 weeks, the only people and the only buyers that are going to really look at it are new buyers that are coming into the market finding a new home. And they're only going to be looking at the price range that we have your home listed on. Our team does a great job making sure that we get you the most exposure in those first 2 weeks to bring in most of the buyers that we possibly can.
Okay.
And now that we kind of talked a little bit of that, let's go ahead and view of some homes that are currently active, pending, and have sold close to your facility that are relatedly and comparable to your house. Here, I just want to show that I am with the Keller Williams Market Pro Realty, and we are number one in our area when it comes to total volumes of like selling and listing homes. And the average days on the market that we have our houses or we sell our houses are like 98 days, which is incredibly great. And to kind of narrow this down a little bit more, your house is located in Bend County. I'm estimating your home to be in this range of 150 to 199,000. So at this moment, we have about 59 active listings. Okay, and in total, we have sold, in the last 90 days, we sold about 487 homes. So that's bringing an average of 162.3 homes per month. I mean, we're not even hitting like a 0.5% of month supply, you know, so the houses are only lasting about 65 days on the market, which is quite low because homes take somewhere between 30 to 45 days to actually close once it's under contract. And for you, 100% of that is actually selling at the listed price per square foot. So that means, you know, you're getting that amount that you're asking for from the get-go. Do you have any questions about this?
No, so are you saying that we're going to get exactly what we listed for?
As long as we price it correctly, there's no doubt in my mind that we shouldn't hit that mark.
Okay, very good.
So right here, there's only 2 homes on the market right now. They're similar to your house. I couldn't really get any pictures on the inside because all these homes are new homes. They're both built in the year 2020. We're really mainly going to be looking at this column for everything, which is going to be the listed price per square foot. That's going to be the most important thing that we're going to look at. So we got this first house is $132.65 per square foot. It is bigger than your home. It is 2 stories while your home is only 1 story. This other home literally looks the same as your home, and it's listed at $122.24 per square foot. And it's been on the market for about 63 days, so about as average as what we were just talking about. This other one has only been there for 4 days. And both of these homes are built from Roche Coleman, which is the same company that they purchased your homes. So I just kind of want to keep intact that more than likely that these homes, even though they stay active, they're probably already under contract. They just haven't been changed to pending.
Okay.
Now these are homes that are pending at the moment, so that means they're under contract. I highlighted the main homes that are closely similar to your house. Okay, they're all located in the Deer Haven subdivision, which is where your house is located in. So the lowest one we have here is at 118 per square foot. The highest one, well, the other 2 are about the same. They're both listed at about 121 per square foot. And all 3 of them are built here in the year 2020. And I couldn't really see any other pictures on the inside, but in general, they're going to be very similar to what your house looks like on the inside, okay?
Okay.
Now, these are homes that have already sold. So they're already gone through the process and, you know, new owners are living in there. Before we look at the highlighted yellow ones, I wanted to just kind of express this blue highlighted one. This house is similar to all the other homes, but it was listed and sold at a square footage a lot smaller. That being stated, I don't have an exact answer to that, but I do know that with Roche Coleman, if an employee purchased a home from their company, then they get a discount. So that may be what's happening here with that market price, all right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. That's a good observation.
Yeah, so I just wanted to just kind of like really bring that to your attention. These other homes, though, are listed between 118.14 per square foot to 124.95 per square foot. And so on average in Garfield right now, the houses that are selling are between 119 per square foot and 122 per square foot. And the main average is about 121.50 per square foot. We're going to take a look at White Fawn because I actually could find pictures on them, and it was actually built on the same year as yours, since your house is built in 2018, all right?
Yeah.
So here is a picture of it. So this is on the other street of your house. As we can tell, the outside is pretty similar. The layout on the inside is about the same, but they picked more of a basic layout. You know, and just looking at your home, we can see that, you know, you have updated on, you know, your countertops, you know, you have a built-in deck in the back. So, I mean, those are big pluses here. This home actually sold last month, and it sold for $120.73 per square foot. And it has approximately 1433 square footage, which is quite close to yours.
Okay.
And this is the picture I pulled up from Benton County Records about your home. I did have a question about your square footage, but I have concluded that you have 1416 per square heated per square foot. This is just including that garage, and I was just a little lost. And then I just want to reassure that your house is built in 2018, correct?
Yep, that's right.
Great. So with all that we just spoke with, what's going through your mind? Speak to me.
Well, I don't know. You know, I put all those upgrades in.
Yes. So the roof and the deck in the back are two big good upgrades. So like I stated, we might want to lean more towards the higher part of per square footage. I mean, there's like 122, or you know, we could go with the 121.
You think we could sell it for 122?
It doesn't hurt, but we go back with the pyramid, you know, because you are competing with newer homes. So let's just keep that in mind as well.
Okay.
Since in your subdivisions, all these newer homes are coming in, but the market is so well right now that these homes are just disappearing quite fast, which leaves you in an advantage as well, because if somebody wants to move out here, then your house is going to be on the market.
Well, if we look at the solds, we know we're going to sell it between 118 and 122 a foot, right?
Yes.
So thinking of your chart, I just don't know where market value is.
Well, here, why don't we pull up this net sheet. So here's my net sheet. Can you see it?
Kind of.
I don't want to shrink it a little bit more, but I went ahead and put in your. Okay.
So market value is at 120. We could sell it in 30 days.
Well, I'm sure that we'll have it under contract pretty soon.
Can y'all see the net sheet? I can't see it.
Can you guys see the net sheet?
No.
No, it went off of your PowerPoint.
Okay.
You may have to unshare and then share. It looks like you shared only the PowerPoint window. You may have to share all windows.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fun to know. I didn't know you had to do that.
There you go.
Okay, well, that's a lot of buttons. You know, what I can do is just, you know what, Craig, what I can do is create different spread net sheets with how much you owe left with your mortgage, and also, and just kind of send them to you in an email. And I'll do like, you know, 119, 120, 121, 122, just kind of give you an
Jenny,
estimate.
we still can't see your net sheet.
Yeah.
You would have to
go
ahead and
pull
unshare.
it up for some reason.
Are you trying to move your arrows down there on the bottom?
No. Can you see the PowerPoint?
Yes.
Okay. For some reason, I can't put my net sheet up.
So Jenny, so go ahead and unshare real quick. And then when you hit the share button, looks like you're still sharing. Go ahead and unshare your screen.
Your net sheet was not on. There you go, babe.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't
Okay,
on your
can you see
PowerPoint.
it
I thought it
now?
was on your PowerPoint. There you go.
Yeah.
No, so normally I would put it on my PowerPoint, but with this case, I didn't put it on my PowerPoint because we really went through with the just kind of playing around with some numbers since it was like we pre-talked about doing that before I showed up to my listing presentation. So each listing presentation that I do, I kind of like custom it to what I already know that I'm going into with that person. So in this case, you know, it was just more efficient to have it this way when I went to that presentation. So from here, Craig, we can just kind of play around. I went ahead and put the square footage of your home. And, you know, so at 121, let's say you say, 100. Then you're, you know, we're looking at you netting about, you know, 59,538 and 14 cents. How do you feel about that?
You know, that's pretty good. Is your commission in there?
Yes. So I already went ahead and put in my 6% commission, so it's
Okay,
taking that out. And all of these other ones are your closing cost fees, you know, termites. So these are, you know, estimated. The only thing I did not put here is like taxes, because that's something that I cannot estimate on there for you. But in general, I have my commission and what we're looking at for your closing costs.
Okay, yeah, that looks good. I was asking you earlier, but yeah, I like your price, 121.
Yeah, you know, I do believe that 121 is a really great square footage to put your home in, especially since that's the average in Garfield at the moment. The homes are selling for, okay?
Yep. No questions.
Okay. All right, let me get back to the presentation here. So now that we kind of decided on a price pointage for your home, I just wanted to re-show you what kind of sources the buyers use to purchase a home, which is online website and a real estate agent. Those are like the top two. And the same goes when they actually do purchase a home, and you know, it all went with the internet and a real estate agent. So those are going to be the two main, you know, factors in helping selling your home. With our team, we have a great marketing strategy. We put everything on social media. We have like our own website. You know, Keller Williams has their own special app that we share with all the buyers. There's about 4,000 realtors in our areas, and you know, we all use the MLS, which is a multiple listing service. In other words, the moment that I put your house on active, everybody's going to get a little nice notification saying this is new on the market. And if their buyer is looking into that, then they have the ability to schedule an appointment with Showing Time, which is a great little app that we all use to, you know, just have that smoothly. And we can go into more detail about what hours you're okay with people coming to your home, and things of that sort. And, you know, and I can always offer open houses as well. We can do, you know, mega open house. And the main difference with that is just the amount of promoting that I do as well. At the end of the day, I kind of always stick with mega open house because I want to give you the best value. Our team also provides professional photos, so I'll have a professional photographer come here and we can discuss here in a bit about how to get your house ready for that kind of photo shoot as well. And here is a open house design that we do. So we can either do the virtual if you're not comfortable with people actually stepping into your home. If not, you know, people, when they do come home, I'll ask them to sign in, just kind of get basic information from there. And it really helps us, well, it really helps my team or anybody that I know, because if somebody comes in and they are looking for, you know, maybe a different type of home, I may have somebody else that may have that home for them. So it's just kind of helping everybody out. Do you have any questions? so far?
No, I don't need to be there, do I, when you have an open house?
No, you don't need to be there. I don't recommend you being there anyways, just because, you know, people are going to come in there and they're going to have their own personal opinion about your home. And, you know, you just don't want to be there at that time. So I want to take a moment and just kind of introduce you to our team. I've been talking about them for a while. Right here we have Marcella. She's our team leader, and she is amazing. She's like my head coach. So, you know, I just want you to know we're in good hands. Over here, this is Rod, which is her son. So, you know, he's very knowledgeable. He knows what he's talking about. He, you know, he takes a look at all my contracts. So he just makes double checks to make sure that, you know, I'm always doing my job correctly as well. So that's just kind of put more ease for you knowing that you're being taken care of. Carrie and Madeline, I absolutely love them. They are like my Jiminy Cricket. They definitely help and make sure that things are uploaded and going and are on time and schedule. And, you know, normally you would get a phone call from one of them every Friday giving you an update status of how your house is going, how many people view them, any kind of feedback. But lately with the market being so hot, we don't even get to that next Friday. But yeah, they're just an amazing, amazing people. And to add on to our team, this is the rest of the agents on there. We all help each other out. For some reason, if one of us needs to help the other one with a certain situation, like for instance, I'm going to your open house and I get a flat tire, well, I can call up any of these agents and they'd be more than happy to go up there and make sure that everything gets done properly.
Okay.
And once again, I just want to brag on my team leader, Marcella. If you look here on your right-hand side, this is her resume. So if at any point you doubt anything that I am saying, I just want you to know that I'm in really good hands and so are you. And her promise is for our team to provide you the most amazing, incredible real estate experience you could ever imagine. So that is her goal. And as a team leader, she is always available to personally visit with you. And here is her phone number. So yeah, if you get upset with me, you're always welcome to call Marcella. So Craig, now that we kind of gone through everything, is there anything you kind of want me to go through again? I know it was a lot of information. Any questions?
No. Will you cut your commission? Just a little bit?
No, I will not. No, can't do that, sir. But, you know, I do have all the documents here to kind of show you the next couple of steps we need to actually sell your home.
All right, well, let's sign up.
All right. So then, you know, at that point, I bring with me kind of like a copy of, I bring myself a copy of like the exclusive right to sell agreement, an exclusive buyer's agency agreement, and I also bring a property disclosure copy as well. I leave the property disclosure with them. I explain to them what, you know, the contracts that we're doing together. I also kind of explain to them to have an idea what offers are going to look at so they have a general idea. And then our team kind of has like a input sheet, I guess. So at that moment, I also kind of go with them, you know, what to expect, how to set up for pictures, and we just kind of go from there. So that's it, you guys.
That's great. Woohoo!
Good job.
Thank you for doing that. I know that's nerve-wracking when you do those, Jenny. You did a really good job. So does anybody have any questions or any comments on some things that we talked about during that listing presentation?
I asked her a few harder questions than I did.
Yeah, you did.
The last one. And she addressed them very well.
So what would be your objection when he said, and this was really hard and probably threw her off, Craig, will you cut your commission? And she said no, and we couldn't see her face really good, but I'm sure she had that sweet little grin on there. That's not something I do. Let me show you. So what would you add to that at some point when you're script practicing? And we said, would you cut your commission?
I mean, I just tell them that, you know, I'm providing the best service that I can. And, you know, for me to cut my commission just shows that I'm also willing to cut down my work ethics. and that is not the kind of service I provide for my clients.
That's a good one. What about if you say, I'm sure that you're trying, one of the most important things that you're hiring is a negotiator, because one of the hardest things for someone to do is to negotiate for themselves. And so if you ask me if I cut my commission and I agree to cut my commission now, what kind of a negotiator do you think that I would be when they want us to take less for the contract? So take it back, because they want a great negotiator. They don't want someone that cuts their commission. And they don't want someone, like she said, that is not going to apply their integrity and do as good a job as they promise that they're going to do. I used to be very, and Jenny probably has heard me say this before, and in the market times when things were just a little bit different than they are today, one of my questions was, would you cut your commission? Everybody laughed at me. Carrie will know. What do I say, Carrie?
No. Do you have any other questions?
Yes, I do exactly what Jenny did. I go, no, do you have any other questions? But I grin at them just as, that's not something I do. But I think today, the way the market is, it's good to have that extra thing about, this is really where my heart is. I'm the best negotiator you will get on your side. And to that fact, if I negotiate my commission on the front, what does that say about my abilities to continue to negotiate for you when that time comes? So see, I said that two different ways. So it just pops out however it comes out with that. So what else? Courtney? Yes.
You can say stuff too, like letting them know where the commission goes. So like, I don't know, like on the net sheet, if you look, it shows 6%, and that's a really big number. And so people are like, you're getting paid almost $30,000 to sell my house. But if you tell them like half of that is going to go to a buyer's agent, and then part of your 3% is going to go to your brokerage. And then if you're on a team, part of that is going to go towards the expenses that you pay to be on the team. And so like once you like show them that you're getting a much smaller portion of that large amount, they're not as like, oh, like they don't want that discount as much, because you're like reminding them that that's like how you pay your bills and how you support your family and you do all of that stuff.
Yeah, when I go over the exclusive right to sell and we hit that paragraph where I put 3% for listing and then buyer, that's normally when I kind of explain to them, I'm like, you're not paying double commission here. That original 6% is going to split in half, and I'm going to be paying other commissions from my commission. So you're taken care of. And they seem to be really understanding, especially when we hit that paragraph.
Anybody else? I know we've talked about a lot of objection handlings.
So
commission is
Marcella,
when you go ahead, Caton.
Yeah, so I get to talk to a lot of people that feel like they can sell the house themselves, and so I have that perspective, just context. And so my counter to that, I start with the same argument, the script that you just gave us, that, how well do you think I would negotiate if I can give up my commission? But more importantly, their perspective is, I can put it on Zillow and I can sell it. And I use the script where, in the absence of value, all you would see is cost. And so when you think about the 6%, obviously not all the 6% is going to me, not out of that 3%, not all the 3% is going to me, but would you be able to get a professional photographer? Would you be able to get a videographer to do a video? Would you be able to host an open house and do all the things that I do? And we've gone through that in my presentation. Would you be able to put your signs in 10 different places when you do the open house? Would you have time to show the house to 20 different people that are going to come walk in? Would you have the time? Do you have the infrastructure? I have the gloves, the mask, the boot covers, the hand sanitizer. I've got the whole team ready to go for you. That's what you're paying for. And if you feel like you want a discount on that, how good do you feel about the money that you're going to net at the end of the day if you don't get this value? So when you're hiring me, you're hiring a team of people, not just me. I'm facing a very good, strong team that's backing me up. And I didn't even start talking about Keller Williams and the 300 agents and what they do for the clients. So just want to add that.
Good job. Good job. I like those. I like all of those. Anybody else have something that they use?
Also on the net sheet, when you ask them what their goal is to net, if your numbers match up where they're netting the proceeds that they're looking for, and your commission is included, then there shouldn't be an issue.
That is great. And what she's really saying, because it's really not that they don't want you to make money. They understand that you've got a commission. It's that they really want to make the money. So, I mean, the question is if I can net you the proceeds that you said you want to make, that's what Erin is saying here, then that's what you're really looking for, isn't it? To make the most amount of money in the least amount of time with the least amount of stress. That little thing that we had. And guys, you can never, ever emphasize it enough that it is, you think about yourself. How difficult is it to negotiate for yourself? You know, we think I am a great negotiator, except when it comes to me. I can tell y'all that. I honestly, if I get to wanting something, are y'all not the same way? Isn't it sort of hard to back away and you start saying, you start justifying why it's okay to do this over here? My kids, Rod and them will tell you on here that, you know, I probably should have had him negotiating with the seller with me on this house just because. And with this house that I bought, he felt, look at him, no, I shouldn't have, because he was upset with that seller. But that's true. And you know what? Last year, only 8% of the for sale by owners sold themselves. They eventually listed with a real estate agent. It just goes back when I was a newer agent and we moved to the North Little Rock area, I hired as a real estate agent. I hired an agent and paid a commission. I didn't ask them to cut their commission. Number one, I didn't know the area. And so that made it a little bit more difficult. There are reasons that you do that. The bottom line is, are we okay with the money that we're going to net or have to pay? So great job, Jenny. Thank you very, very much. Anybody else got anything they want to say? We're still a little bit early.
Super proud of you, Jenny. That was a great job.
Yes, that was. I took notes. Did anybody take notes as she was going down through it?
One thing I wanted to say, and you know, when you're talking about the things that will bring value, one thing I'd be really careful with is roofs typically don't bring value. The only value they can help with is if it's an architectural shingle versus a 3-tab shingle, but you're not looking at much. It's just like every house has to have a roof. Every house has to have floor coverings of some sort. Floor coverings can help if they're, you know, marble or
wood instead of
wood, you know, wood versus carpet. But just be careful on that. I did see hear that or catch that in there. It'll help sell. It won't necessarily help value, but it'll help sell because it'll be a peace of mind for the buyers. And that's what I always try to tell people. So
it's like a emotional factor.
Yes, it's emotional.
Yes, great job though. That was an awesome job.
And these are kind of things that when we listen to someone teach these things, and we do this on our team, a lot of times we give the presentation and then we go back. We're not mean, but if we say something, then hey, you might think about this and this is the way you want to do it. So hopefully we have the freedom to do that on this group too, because it's just meant to make us better. Everybody agree with that? Okay. Yep. And I wanted to say one thing, because I know this is a new thing that Jenny has added. I love that you added the pictures and you put the MLS stuff on there. Good job on doing that. And I've said that over and over and over. In coaching, you heard me say it this morning, I believe that we need to move to this kind of presentation, whether it's in person or virtual. I think we need to be prepared for anything, because in this market, things can happen where the seller maybe not can visit with you. And if you're prepared for that, you can get them on Zoom and you've got everything there. And if you have to go, oh gosh, I didn't put this on there. Now, if it's something like what Jenny did with the net sheet, I'm really okay with that. The big deal is to make sure, practice with someone and make sure that you can get from one to the other one, that you've got those buttons going like that. But I love the fact that she waited and talked to him and then showed him how she could fill some different things in on there. So, go ahead.
I got a question.
Okay.
Would you also send them like that presentation like via email too, so they could have it on their own, so they could look at it by themselves later, or would you keep it yourself?
I think you could do it either way. I've heard of it done both ways, because for the team, I created one which I need to redo now. Things are changing so quickly, but a virtual listing presentation that was from me for the team. Hey, thank you for letting my team member Landon come in and talk to you about da 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 da. This is Marcella. I knew that you'd like to put a face and a voice with what we're talking about. So you can do the same kind of thing. You can create a before virtual thing that doesn't necessarily have to be everything that you're talking about, or you could go through just what Jeni did there, and you could do the whole presentation, talk to them in third party, like we're going to go over this, we're going to go over this, and then tell them that this is presented. It takes about 20 minutes if they have time to look at it, and let you know if they have questions, you know, as you talk through those things. I don't like sending the money, stuff like that, without talking to them. That's just my own personal opinion. I would rather get in front of them to do that and get a feel for what they're looking at and those kind of things. I loved what Caden said as far as going back with the objection, to answer that back with your value, you know, the things that you're going to do for them. And I would say, make sure you've got those written down somewhere. Did y'all notice that he was looking down at that stuff? I'm sure he has that in his presentation that he can go back to. These are the things that I'm going to be doing for you. This is the value that I bring to the table. Because why would they list with you instead of me? You see what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if you're new. It doesn't matter if you're 30 years in the business. It matters what you're going to do for them and how knowledgeable you are in your presentation. That's how you connect with them. Anyone can go get that listing. It doesn't have to be somebody that's more experienced or been there for a while. The more experienced agent just understands the objection handling a little bit quicker when it comes through there. Yes, TG.
I just think that, you know, whenever you're talking to somebody, I think one of the biggest things that I found out in car sales is if you talk from a place of confidence, that is always will be received so much better. And because you put the Keller Williams Market Pro Realty as the #1 broker by volume in Northwest Arkansas, I think that leads so much credibility to what you're saying. I was fortunate enough to work for the #1 car dealership in Northwest Arkansas by volume. And I used that very many times on the fact that, listen, guys, we've got the experience behind us. I don't think we could add up on one calculator the number of years experience we have at Keller Williams Market Pro Realty. So I think that's a vote of confidence behind it that you can speak from.
Can I add something to that, Marcella?
Surely.
So one of the other things that I've used is with my clients is, let's say hypothetically you had a physical condition and you needed to go get surgery, you needed to go see a doctor. Would you prefer a doctor that probably does a couple of surgeries a month, or would you prefer a doctor that's doing 20 or 30 surgeries a month and has all of the infrastructure in their hospital, the nurses, the staff, the equipment, the tools, everything, and has the experience of doing so many surgeries at a time? Which one would you prefer? Would you go with Keller Williams, or would you go with somebody, a boutique real estate shop that's doing a couple of deals? I get to work with a lot of fascinating, amazing experts in my company, and I get to learn from them. And guess what? I'm not the expert, but I rely on people. We have an internal Facebook where I can post a question and I can guarantee you I can get you answers by the end of the day. And so that's what I bring. It's just not just don't look at me, but I bring some of the best professionals in this business in our local area.
Good job. Okay, guys, no coaching next week. Remember to get your contacts in command, tag them, and do a SMART plan. Not that hard. If you have a question, the person with the strengths on command is in my right-hand corner up there. And she answers. She'll loom you just as quick as you ask her a question with that. So, okay. Anything else that we need to talk about before we get off of here? Scott, welcome. Rihanna, welcome. Who else did I miss that's brand new on here? You see Jeni, she's smiling with Rihanna. She actually recruited her. Doesn't that make you feel good when you do something like that? And I love Rihanna's attitude. She's not talking to us today, but she's very excited about she's almost like TG, real excited about being part of this company. So, okay, guys, love you. And Carrie, you got anything you want to say? You're motioning, or are you just working?
Working, but don't forget about Mega Camp. If you're going to go to Mega Camp, the price will go up in 2 days. So get them ordered before Thursday.
All right, we will see you guys in a couple of weeks, or maybe you'll see our little picture on Mega Camp. I don't know how they're going to do that. That'll be interesting. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.